Deep within the heart of an ancient forest, untouched by time and human encroachment, lies a realm of enchantment and mystery. This forest, known as Elder Tree, is home to a group of guardians who protect the delicate balance between nature and humanity. These guardians are not mere mortals, they are beings of immense power and wisdom, drawn from the very essence of the forest itself. Elder Tree is a place where the lines between reality and folklore blur. Trees with gnarled branches whisper secrets of ages past, rivers sing songs of forgotten legends, and the air is thick with magic. At the center of this mystical forest stands the great oak, a colossal tree said to be as old as the earth itself. It is here that the guardians gather, under the shelter of its ancient boughs, to discuss their eternal duty. The guardians are a diverse group, each representing a different aspect of nature. There is Leora, the guardian of light, who commands the sun's rays and guides lost travelers with her radiant glow. Thalion, the guardian of the wild, embodies the spirit of all creatures, from the smallest insect to the mightiest beast. Uranus, the guardian of waters, controls the rivers and lakes, ensuring their purity and vitality. And finally, Aera, the guardian of the seasons, weaves the tapestry of spring, summer, autumn, and winter, maintaining the cycle of life and death. One crisp autumn evening, as the leaves turned to hues of gold and crimson, the guardians sensed a disturbance. A dark shadow had begun to creep into the forest, corrupting the flora and fauna. The great oak's leaves started to wither, and the once clear streams became murky. The guardians convened beneath the great oak, their faces etched with concern. "It is the work of the dreadroot," Thalion growled, his eyes flashing with anger. "A malevolent spirit that feeds on decay and destruction. We must act swiftly to contain it." "But how?" Aera asked, her voice tinged with worry. "The dreadroot is cunning and elusive. It can hide in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike." Leora stepped forward, her light casting a warm glow on her companions. "We must use our combined powers to cleanse the forest. Together, we can drive the dreadroot away and restore balance." The guardians nodded in agreement, each of them focusing their energies to create a powerful spell. Leora's light illuminated the dark corners of the forest, exposing the dreadroot's hiding places. Thalion summoned the animals to assist in the search, while Uranus used his control over water to wash away the corruption. Aera called upon the winds of autumn to scatter the dreadroot's spores, preventing them from taking root. After a fierce battle, the guardians managed to weaken the dreadroot and trap it within a crystal prison. The forest sighed in relief as the darkness receded, and life began to flourish once more. However, the guardians knew that this victory was only temporary. The dreadroot would return, and other threats would follow. Months passed, and the guardians continued their vigil over Elder Tree. One day, they sensed a new danger, not from the realm of myth, but from humanity itself. A group of loggers had entered the forest, armed with axes and saws, intent on harvesting the ancient trees. "This cannot be allowed," Thalion growled, his eyes blazing with fury. "The humans will destroy everything we have sworn to protect." "We must find a way to communicate with them," Leora said gently. "Perhaps they do not understand the importance of this forest." Uranus nodded. "We can use our powers to create a barrier, but it will only buy us time. We need a more permanent solution." Aera's eyes sparkled with an idea. "We could tell them the story of Elder Tree, of its magic and its guardians. If they understand its significance, they might choose to leave it unharmed." The guardians agreed, and that night, they visited the human camp in their ethereal forms. They appeared as luminous figures, glowing with otherworldly light, and approached the loggers. "Who are you?" one of the loggers asked, his voice trembling with fear and awe. "We are the guardians of this forest," Leora said, her voice soft but powerful. "We protect Elder Tree and all its inhabitants. This forest is sacred, and its destruction would bring great harm to the world." The loggers listened, captivated by the guardians' presence. Thalion told them of the ancient trees that had stood for millennia, providing shelter and sustenance to countless creatures. Uranus spoke of the pure waters that flowed through the forest, nourishing the land. Aera described the delicate balance of the seasons, and how the forest depended on this harmony to thrive. The loggers were moved by the guardian's words. They had come to the forest seeking profit, but now they saw its true value. They vowed to leave Elder Tree untouched and spread the story of the ancient forest and its protectors. With the human threat averted, the guardians turned their attention to another danger. Strange creatures had been sighted at the edges of the forest, beings of myth and legend, drawn by the forest's magic. Some were harmless, but others were dangerous, seeking to exploit Elder Tree's power for their own gain. One evening, as the moon cast a silvery glow over the forest, the guardians sensed a powerful presence approaching. It was a dragon, its scales shimmering like polished metal, its eyes burning with an intense, otherworldly fire. "The dragon seeks the Heartstone," Thalion said, his voice tense. "If it finds it, the balance of the forest will be shattered." The Heartstone was a gem of immense power, hidden deep within the great oak. It was the source of the forest's magic and the key to its survival. The guardians knew they had to protect it at all costs. "We must confront the dragon," Leora said, her light shining brighter. "But we cannot defeat it with force alone. We must find another way." Uranus suggested using the power of water to create an illusion, leading the dragon away from the Heartstone. Aera proposed using the winds to confuse it, while Thalion suggested calling upon the animals to assist in the diversion. Together, the guardians crafted a plan. As the dragon drew closer, they unleashed their combined powers. Uranus created a shimmering illusion of the Heartstone, leading the dragon away from the great oak. Aera summoned powerful winds to obscure its vision, while Thalion called upon the birds and beasts to create a cacophony of sound, further disorienting the dragon. The dragon, confused and frustrated, followed the illusion away from the Heartstone. The guardians guided it to a distant mountain, where it finally lost interest and flew away, seeking easier prey. With the dragon gone, the guardians believed they had a moment of peace. However, the forest was never without its challenges. One day, a group of mischievous forest spirits began causing trouble. These spirits, known as the Fae, delighted in playing tricks on the guardians and the forest inhabitants. "They're causing chaos," Thalion grumbled, watching as the Fae turned a peaceful glade into a whirlwind of activity. "We must find a way to calm them." "The Fae are not evil," Leora said thoughtfully. "They are just playful. Perhaps we can find a way to channel their energy into something positive." Aera smiled. "We could teach them the importance of balance and harmony. If they understand how their actions affect the forest, they might choose to help us instead of causing trouble." The guardians approached the Fae, their demeanor calm and gentle. They spoke to the spirits, explaining the delicate balance of the forest and how every action had consequences. They showed the Fae how their tricks disrupted the lives of the creatures and plants that called Elder Tree home. To the guardians' surprise, the Fae were receptive. They had never considered the impact of their actions and were eager to learn. The guardians taught them how to use their magic to help the forest, guiding the growth of plants, aiding animals in need, and protecting the land from harm. In time, the Fae became valuable allies, their playful energy harnessed for the greater good. The forest thrived, and the bond between the guardians and the spirits grew stronger. Years passed, and Elder Tree remained a sanctuary of peace and magic. The guardians continued their watch, facing each challenge with wisdom and strength. However, they knew that their greatest test was yet to come. One fateful day, the forest was struck by a powerful storm. Lightning crackled in the sky, and the wind howled like a banshee. The guardians sensed a dark force at work, something far more dangerous than anything they had faced before. "It's the Voidbringer," Thalion said, his voice filled with dread. "An ancient entity that seeks to consume all life. If it reaches the Great Oak, the forest will be lost." The guardians knew they had to act quickly. They gathered their strength, combining their powers to form a barrier around the Great Oak. Leora's light shone brightly, driving back the darkness. Thalion called upon the animals to lend their strength, while Uranus summoned the rivers to create a protective moat. Aera used the power of the seasons to strengthen the barrier, weaving a tapestry of ice and fire. The Voidbringer approached, its presence a void of darkness and despair. It lashed out at the barrier, seeking to break through. The guardians held firm, their resolve unwavering. They knew that this battle would determine the fate of the forest. For days, the Guardians and the Voidbringer clashed. The forest trembled under the strain, but the Guardians refused to yield. Finally, in a moment of pure determination, they unleashed their combined power in a final, desperate attack. The Voidbringer recoiled, its form unraveling under the onslaught. With a final, ear-piercing shriek, it was banished back to the void from whence it came. The forest fell silent, the storm abating as the darkness lifted. The Guardians stood victorious, their strength and unity preserving the heart of Elder Tree. The great oak's leaves shimmered with renewed vitality, and the forest breathed a sigh of relief. With the threat of the Voidbringer vanquished, the Guardians continued their eternal watch over Elder Tree. They knew that the balance between nature and humanity was fragile, and their duty would never end. However, they also knew that their efforts had created a legacy of harmony and conservation. Word of the ancient forest and its guardians spread far and wide. People from all corners of the world came to visit Elder Tree, drawn by its beauty and magic. They learned from the guardians, understanding the importance of protecting nature and living in harmony with the earth. Elder Tree became a symbol of hope and inspiration, a testament to the power of unity and the enduring spirit of the natural world. The guardians, ever vigilant, continued their watch, knowing that as long as they stood together, the forest would remain a sanctuary of life and magic. And so, the story of the ancient forest and its guardians lives on, a timeless tale of courage, wisdom, and the enduring bond between humanity and nature. The Guardian's legacy is a reminder that we all have a role to play in protecting the world around us, ensuring that the magic of nature continues to thrive for generations to come.